Hello, AP Human Geography students. Here's our second video on ethnicity, and we're going to focus on why have ethnicities been transformed into nationalities. Let's take a look. All right, so first off, what is a nationality? We know what ethnicity is, but what's a nationality? Well, it's a group of people who share a legal attachment to a country. What does that even mean? Well, it's where someone is born. So for example, if you're born in the United States, you are American, despite where your parents are from. Your ethnicity can be different than your nationality. Now, there are similarities between nationality and ethnicity, and that's shared cultural values. Now, there are also differences. Nationality, if you share nationality with somebody, you share your voting rights and your civic duties, versus cultural traditions from ethnicity. You might not share the same cultural traditions if you're from Canada, let's say, than from Brazil. All right, what are nation states? So, nation states are linked to nationality, and it's a state or a country whose territory is occupied by a particular ethnicity that has been transformed into a nationality. So we'll talk more about this in a second. So it's basically a large clustering of people in a country. Within the country, they emphasize shared attitudes through nationalism. So, for example, Denmark became a country in 1948. So people who are Danish are from Denmark. All right, nationality is your Danish. Germany became a country in 1871. Therefore, your nationality is German officially. The United States became a country in 1776. Well, guess what? Nationality, you're American. All right, I think you get the picture. All right, so what are multi-ethnic and multinational states? Let's focus on what a multi-ethnic state is. All right, it contains more than one ethnic group, and these ethnicities all attribute to one nationality. And really the perfect example for this is the United States. The United States contains hundreds of ethnicities, all right, and they all contribute to being, let's say, American. All right, multinational states, well, what is this? It contains two ethnic groups that peacefully coexist, or more. Sometimes one ethnic group tries to dominate over another, and we'll discuss that in a second. So examples of this, the United Kingdom contains 4 different ethnicities: Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and England. You can see by the picture right there. So United Kingdom is a multinational state. The largest former multinational state was the Soviet Union. Now, the Soviet Union collapsed in 1990, and from its breakup, well, emerged 15 different countries. Do note, though, that within these countries are other ethnicities, but they were not given the same level of recognition, all right, or importance as the other countries. All right, the reason why these countries developed is because they linked to a specific nationality. All right, so there's 3 Baltic nations that were formed: Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. You've seen them in the map here. There are 3 European nations that were formed: Belarus, Moldova, and Ukraine. There are 5 Central Asian nation states that were formed: Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. And there are 3 Caucasus nations. They are Azerbaijan, Armenia, and Georgia. Last but not least, a nation state that was also created, and the largest one, is Russia. Now, Russia is the largest multinational state because it recognizes 39 different nationalities within its borders. So, technically speaking, we could divvy up Russia into 39 different pieces. All right, and therefore, let's say, for example, they would have the Chechen state and the Dagestani state and the Tuvinian state, etc., etc. All right, so why the breakup of the Soviet Union, right? Well, it's a revival of ethnic identity. So, for example, here, the Soviet Union, which I just went over, Yugoslavia and Czechoslovakia, which are down below, were dismantled due to minority ethnic identity. What that means to you is that people were upset that they did not have their own country to support their own nationalism with. So therefore, there were civil wars that erupted between these ethnicities, and thus the breakup of these larger multinational states into smaller nation states. Okay, we'll talk more about that in class about nation states. I will see you then.